Fucking what? I cannot vouch for Benjamin Power's work as half of Fuck Button, since I only caught on to his whereabouts after he broke away and devoted himself completely to Blanck Mass. 2015's Dumb Flesh showed he wanted to make something of his own vision. It had these cold, digital congregations of rhythms that were long-winded and let feelings slow burn into your bones. It just didn't apply enough deliberate logic to having one idea stretch over every track. However, the past two records have fixed that and amped in size and magnitude to communicate the same. World Eater took post-industrial bombardments and rearranged them as epic, even theatrical odysseys with the wispy texture of cotton candy, but like cotton candy made of death. That thing shoots through you like heroin, and it feels like the world could be in your control if you just rose up and took it. And comparatively, Animated Violence Mild seems like it resembles the point you do. It's as if for a moment you're victim to nothing. It'll grow a fire in you that makes you feel like you're on the edge of explosion. It's like receiving several punches in the face or lights flickering at hyper speed, and it's still exceptionally arranged. While World Eater directly serves you at switch-ups on a plate, Animated Violence Mild's walls seem impenetrably thick, yet seamlessly lace a surprising amount of shifts in the cyclonic movement. He rearranges sounds that should feel grating and harsh, like shreds of metal texture, and the drums' grenade-esque timbres, and makes them seem flexible enough to fly. Same with the stinging vocals that should cut you like a knife on Death Drop, which I imagine if you were sprinting straight towards the sun, this could soundtrack your journey. Even when the vocals aren't peak screech, they're striking, dramatic, and even soulful. They sound sourced from a variety of situations that would call for absolute thrust of emotion, like yelling, wincing, moaning, etc. They also sound tangibly helpless on Hush Money, which has a melody that's a perfect example of how something candy sweet could feel completely at home in the record. It also works mainstream electropop synths into the mix, which only flatter it because they're in such a new context. And of course, sounds coming out of DJ and club scenes are a pretty pivotal part of Benjamin's style, so they work their repertoire into some tracks here, House vs. House being a prime example. It has the most fucked dance groove formed out of vocal gunfire, trance-inducing singing, and hasty outbreaks, which could bother me in another context, but since being caught off guard is such a constant part of this experience, it seems more purposeful. I think the sweeping waves over top Wings of Hate work for the same reason. I love how everything's kept at a lower register while they encompass it and finish the record off. However, a single nitpick I have with this project is that this track and Love is a Parasite scratch a similar heart-thumping itch, and by the tiniest margin, I'd rather skip Love is a Parasite, although I still appreciate how that cut redirects a squeaky barrage to a coherent melody that still echoes with its texture shards. Then it's built back up and moves into a new phase. Its progression is undeniably rewarding. And tonally, it kind of feels similar to the fuzz Creature West Fuqua begins with. It sounds like crushed up synth powder which disintegrates to the album's only warm moment, glistening synth arpeggios. And it still fits in for how heightened and awe-inspiring it sounds. It perfectly demonstrates how an artist working on a sensorily heavy project could uncover a skeletal moment without it sticking out like a sore thumb. This track is timed perfectly too. Along with no dice, it prevents the record from painting itself into a tonal corner. That track breaks in with percussive shots and anthemic chanting vocals. It's formed out of what sounds like gun cocks and synths from a thrilling stadium anthem. I have to imagine this being recorded in some kind of fucked coliseum or something, and the twisted vocal samples and twinkling and crunchy sounds fused in just enchant me through to the end. This shit is incredible, takes me to a completely different place. It's definitely the most thrilling experience I've had all year, so it's my current album of the year at a 9 out of 10. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.